Hey guys, it's back with a true story. And I need to warn you, this one messed me up. I'm only telling this because I need people to know. If you're thinking about adopting a black cat from a shelter, don't. Just don't. Before we start, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, because after you hear this, you're gonna want to follow what happens next. All right, let's get into it.
3 years ago, I made the worst decision of my life. I adopted a cat. Her name was Luna. Black fur, green eyes. The shelter workers seemed relieved when I said I'd take her. She'd been there for 8 months. No one wanted her. When I asked why, the worker just said, "Some cats take longer to find homes." I should have seen the red flags. The way she avoided eye contact. The way she handed me the paperwork too quickly, like she wanted me gone before I changed my mind. But I didn't ask questions. I just took Luna home. That first night, I woke up at 2:47 a.m. I know the exact time because I checked my phone. Luna was on my chest, sitting completely still, staring at me, not blinking. Her eyes reflected the streetlight outside, glowing like 2 green moons. I tried to move, couldn't. Sleep paralysis, I thought. It happens. But here's the thing, I've never had sleep paralysis before, or since, just that one time. She stared for what felt like 10 minutes. Then, slowly, she blinked. Once. Held it. Opened her eyes. Blinked again. And walked away. The pressure on my chest lifted. I could breathe. I could move. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. The next morning, I Googled cats staring without blinking, found the usual stuff, dominance, territory, normal cat behavior. But then I found something else, an old forum from 2009. The post said, if a cat stares at you without blinking, they're not asserting dominance, they're deciding if you're compatible. Compatible for what? I clicked the username. Account deleted. I tried to find the thread again. Gone, like it never existed. I told myself I was being paranoid. Then, the gifts started. Week 2, I came home from work. There was a dead mouse on my pillow, right where my head goes. I was annoyed, sure, but cats do this, right? They think you can't hunt. It's instinct. Except I live on the 4th floor, in a building with no pest problem. I asked my neighbors. No one had seen a mouse in years. The building's too new, too clean. So where did it come from? I threw it away, went to bed. Next morning, another one, same spot. I checked every window, every vent, every crack. Nothing was open. Nothing was big enough for a mouse to fit through. But every 2 or 3 days, another gift. And they were getting bigger. A bird, a rat. Once, something I couldn't identify, just bones and matted fur. I started locking Luna in the bathroom at night. No windows, no vents, just 4 walls. The next morning, there was a dead sparrow in my bed. She was still in the bathroom, door still locked from the outside. I stopped sleeping in my bedroom after that. If you're listening to this at night, maybe turn on a light, and go ahead and hit that like button if you're as freaked out as I am. Let me know in the comments, would you have left by now? Because I should have. All right, here's where it gets worse. I started doing research. Cat bringing dead animals inside locked room. No results. I tried paranormal forums, posted my story. Most people said I was lying. One person sent me a private message. It just said, check her previous owner. I asked how. They sent me a link to a funeral home page. Then their account was deleted. I clicked the link. It took me to a funeral home page. I searched Luna and the name of my city. One result. A woman, Margaret Chen, died 3 years ago in my building in apartment 4B, my apartment. Cause of death? Found deceased in home. And at the bottom of the obituary, it said, survived by her beloved cat, Luna. I felt my stomach drop. I checked my adoption papers. The cat's original name was listed as Midnight. They'd renamed her. Why would they rename her? I called the shelter. A different worker answered. I told her I adopted Luna 3 months ago. I asked about her history. She went silent. Then she said, "Can you hold, please?" I waited for 5 minutes. Then the line disconnected. I called back. They said the person I spoke to had left for the day. No one else could help me. That night, Luna brought me something new. Not a dead animal, a collar. Old, cracked leather, faded red with a brass name tag that said Luna. I checked her neck. She was still wearing her blue collar, the one from the shelter. So where did this come from? I looked at the tag closer. There was something engraved on the back. An address, my address, apartment 4B, and a phone number. I called it. It rang, and then a voicemail. A woman's voice. "Hi, you've reached Margaret. I can't come to the phone right now, but Luna and I will get back to you soon." The voicemail was from 3 years ago. Margaret had been dead for 3 years. I hung up, looked at Luna. She was sitting in the doorway, staring, slow blinking. I didn't blink back. The next day, I went to the shelter. In person, I brought the collar, demanded answers. The same worker who'd checked me out was there. When she saw the collar, her face went white. She told me to leave. I refused. I slammed the collar on the counter and said, "Tell me what this is." She started crying, actually crying. She said, "You weren't supposed to find that." I asked her what she meant. She looked around, made sure no one else was listening. Then she whispered, "That cat died with Margaret." The police found her body 4 days after she passed. Luna was lying on her chest, dead. No food, no water. She just laid there, waiting. I said, "But Luna's alive. I have her." She shook her head. 2 months after Margaret died, a cat showed up at our shelter. Black, green eyes, no microchip. We scanned her, nothing. But she looked exactly like the photos from Margaret's Facebook. So we assumed she'd just been hiding, traumatized. We took her in. I asked why they renamed her. She swallowed hard. Because the first 3 people who adopted her brought her back, said she did things, weird things. We thought maybe the name reminded her of trauma, so we renamed her Midnight. Tried again. "How many people adopted her?" I asked. She didn't answer. "How many?" I repeated. "You're the 7th. My blood went cold. What happened to the other 6? She looked at me, eyes red, voice shaking. "I don't know. They just stopped answering our calls." I drove home in silence. Luna was in the window, watching, waiting. I sat in my car for an hour, maybe longer. I couldn't go inside. Finally, I did. She was at the door, slow blinking. I walked past her, didn't blink back. That night, I didn't sleep. At 2:47 a.m., she started running, the zoomies, like every night. But this time, I followed her. She stopped at the corner of my bedroom, the same corner she always stared at, and she sat, perfectly still. I walked closer. The air got colder. There was a smell, wet soil, decay. I looked at the wall. There was a crack, barely visible, hairline thin. I pulled at it. The drywall crumbled like dust. Behind it, a hollow space. I used my phone's flashlight, and I saw them. Bones, small animal bones, dozens, maybe hundreds, arranged in a perfect circle. In the center, a collar, red, brass tag, Luna. But it wasn't the same collar she'd brought me. This one was older, more decayed, and underneath it, a photo, Polaroid, faded. It showed a woman, Margaret, holding Luna, smiling, but someone had scratched out Margaret's face, deep gouges, like claws. I stepped back, dropped my phone. The light went out. When I picked it up and shined it back, the photo was gone. But Luna was there, in the crawl space, sitting in the center of the bones, staring at me, slow blinking. and behind her, I saw something else. A shape. Tall, thin, wrong. It looked like a person, but the proportions were off. Arms too long, head tilted at an angle that shouldn't be possible. I ran. I didn't go back into that room. I slept on the couch, fully dressed, lights on. At 2:47 a.m., I heard scratching at my bedroom door. Then I heard a voice, faint, raspy. Let me out. It wasn't my voice. It wasn't Margaret's voice from the voicemail. It was something else. I grabbed my keys, left, drove to a motel, called the police. They searched the apartment, found the bones, the collar. They said it was probably an old pest infestation, someone's idea of a sick joke. They sealed the wall, told me I was fine to move back in. I didn't. I broke my lease, lost my deposit, didn't care. I left Luna there. I know that sounds awful, but I couldn't take her. I just couldn't. The landlord said he'd bring her to a shelter. I said fine, whatever. Because last night, I came home from work and there was something on my doorstep. A dead mouse. I haven't owned a cat in 6 months. And when I looked up, there was a shape in my window. Tall, thin, watching. I'm leaving again tomorrow. I don't know where I'll go, but I know it won't matter, because wherever I go, she'll find me. She always does. If you've adopted a black cat from a shelter in the last year, check your walls, check the corners of your room, and whatever you do, don't blink back. If this story messed you up, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments, have you ever felt something on your chest at night? Because after hearing this, you might not want to open your eyes next time. I'll see you in the next one, if I'm still here.